If you're watching this video thinking that I'm going to tell you to do drop shipping or buy crypto or some other get rich quick, that's not what this is about. Instead, what you will get from this video is 5 actionable steps that you can apply today that will set you apart from everyone. My name is Nima Attar. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 20 years old. I've been making over $1 million a year since I was 27, and I've mentored thousands of people to help them do the exact same thing. Now, this is a new YouTube channel, so if you hit that subscribe button, you're going to be one of the pioneers that follows from the beginning, and click that bell button so you get notified every time we have a new video. And like this video, it's a favor to us. It's going to help us hit the algorithm, and it's going to help us grow faster together. Okay, let's get right into it. Here's the first thing that you really need to get good at: going against the crowd. Look, I get it. We all want validation. We all want support from our family and friends. And that's why it's so hard to go against what they're advising us to do or go against what they're doing. But the truth is, if you do what everyone else does, you're going to get what everyone else gets. And they're not getting much. So how is it that you're going to do exactly what they've done and end up having different results than that? It's impossible. I went against the crowd for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to train my mind to deal with rejection, to deal with not having validation, to deal with people telling me that I'm a failure, that I'm never going to make anything, because I knew that every successful person has developed that muscle. Here's the second reason I did it: because I wanted to get different results. So for me, my goal from the very beginning was to be a successful entrepreneur. I thought, if everyone else is going to university and taking business courses, what can I do to set myself apart? I decided to drop out, and instead of taking business courses, I got into a real business with a mentor who could teach me what I needed to learn, and I could learn from my own experiences while going through that journey. I've never seen someone learn how to ride a bike by attending a university course for it and sitting there and learning all the theories behind riding a bike. You know how people learn how to ride a bike? By getting on a bike and falling over. For me, I knew in order for me to be a successful entrepreneur, I needed to learn from my experience, not from theory. Now you're thinking, well, Nima, does this mean I should drop out of university? Not necessarily. If you want to be a lawyer, stay in university. If you want to be a doctor, stay in university. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, the path is not university. Here's another thing to keep in mind. In a world that is always changing with AI, with technology, you got to stay open-minded and you got to stay adaptable. A lot of people just want to do things based on what their parents tell them or their friends tell them, because they're people that love you and care about you, so you assume they have your best intention in mind. But here's the problem. They're operating on a navigation system that hasn't been updated since 1980. And you're trying to live in 2023 and compete with a navigation system that hasn't been updated, you're not going to do well. Be adaptable, be open-minded, and be willing to change, even if the people around you don't agree with it. And when you finish and when you become successful, now you'll go back and say, I told you so, and you become the leader that they've been looking to follow. Here's the second point: chase mentors and mastery, not fast results and get rich quick schemes. So many people focus on the how that they forget about the who. But let me tell you something. The how will never get you long-term results, because by the time you find the how, it might already be outdated. But if you find the right who, meaning the right mentor who already has what you want, not only can they give you the most updated how-to, but they will also give you the motivation that you need to act on it. Now, when you're watching this video, you might be in a position where you don't have mentors, where you don't have the right associations. I was the same way. So guess what I did? I exposed myself to the right audiobooks, to the right YouTube videos, to the right books, until I could speak the language that content was speaking. And when I start to speak the language, I start to attract the right mentors that could help me to go to the next level. Here's the next thing you want to focus on. Master your craft. Don't just look to get results from it. Sometimes you get into something and you get lucky, and that luck runs out, and then you end up with nothing. But I promise you, if you master the right skill sets, you will never be left without a paycheck. And there's 3 skill sets that if you master, I don't care what business that you do, I don't care what opportunity you're in, you're going to be more successful for it. Communication skills, leadership, and sales. You master these 3 skill sets, and I promise you, no matter what the economy is, no matter what the situation is, you will still be getting what you want, because those skills are so sought after and there's so few people that master them that you're always going to be highly favored in the marketplace. Here's the third thing: plan your life. I love this quote: if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. And most people fail at life because they never actually prepare for it. I have a video called 5 Steps to Designing Your Life, where I go over the exact system and formula that I followed to plan my own life. And that plan has come to fruition like something that I didn't even imagine. But I can tell you this right now. I know why you're not doing this. You're not doing it because you don't think it matters. You think, Nima, what's the point of me planning my life? I can't predict the future. You're wrong. Most people actually end up predicting their own future, for the better or for the worse. So if you plan, at least you know where you're going instead of not going anywhere. Here's the second thing. They're scared. What if I plan my life? What if I set all these goals? What if I have all these dreams and I don't achieve it? It's better to have a plan and not achieve it than have no plan at all, in my opinion. So what are you afraid of? You only get one shot at this anyways. You might as well do anything you can to give yourself the best chance at success. When you set goals, it's like setting a destination in the navigation system. Every turn that you take is going to be based on whether it's going to get you closer to that destination or not. It's the same thing with your life. Every decision you make either gets you closer to where you want to get to or gets you farther away from it. But it's hard to know which is going to happen if you don't even have a destination. If you're going to do anything by watching this video, set some goals and set some plans. Even if the plans suck, you might as well set something. And I promise you that alone will set you apart from everyone else because no one is doing this. Here's the fourth thing. Pick the right associations. Many times in my life, I've gotten stuck. I didn't know what I wanted to do many times. Many times I thought I knew what I wanted to do and I went after it and I failed at it and I didn't know what I wanted to do again. You know what is the number one thing that I always did that got me out of those slumps? I picked new associations. Every time I was in a slump, I found a new mentor. I found a new association and their new energy and the new direction that they provided me helped me get out of it. Most people that are watching me right now don't have a problem with not having enough people around them. They have a problem by having the wrong people around them. Not drinking water is better than drinking water with poison in it. I know a lot of people, they want to hang around some people or keep some friends because they don't want to be lonely. But let me tell you something. It's better to be lonely than it is to hang around the wrong people. If you spend a little time by yourself, now you're going to be forced to fill that time with something. And you're probably going to fill it with the right books. You're probably going to fill it with watching videos like this. You're probably going to fill it with the right podcasts. And by exposing yourself to that mentality and to those associations, the way you talk will change. And when the way you talk changes, the people around you and the people that get attracted to you is going to change as well. Now, some of you are thinking, but Nima, I love my friends. I don't want to leave them behind. You cannot save someone that is drowning by drowning with them. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your friends and loved ones is save yourself so you can find a lifeguard or you can find a life jacket to throw back for them. You know, when you get on a plane, they always say, put on your own oxygen mask first before you put on your kids. Even though parents love their kids, if they don't put on their oxygen mask first, how are they going to help their kids? What you need to do is you need to first take care of you. And once you take care of you, you can take care of everyone else. Focus on changing yourself, and that will inspire the people around you to either change or stay the same. But that becomes a choice at that point. Here's the last step. You gotta have high urgency. And a lot of young people struggle with this because they think they have time. You know what I realized? A 1-year-old is very different from a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old is very different from a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old is very different from a 15-year-old. That's why no 15-year-old wants to hang out with their 10-year-old brother or sister. A 15-year-old is very different than a 20-year-old. But a 20-year-old is usually not that different from a 25-year-old. A 25-year-old is usually not that different from a 30-year-old. The older we get, the less of a difference we have with the people that are older than us. Because when you're super young, all you have is urgency. A 5-year-old doesn't want to wait to learn a sport like soccer. They just want to learn soccer as soon as possible. A 10-year-old doesn't want to wait to be old enough to hang out with their older brothers. And they have this urgency that they want to go fast and learn fast. But guess what happens when we get to our 20s, when we get to our 30s, when we get to 40s? We start to fear failure. We start to fear not being good enough. We start to fear other people judging us. And we start to procrastinate. And we use excuses like, I don't know how, as a way to procrastinate. But what happens to that enthusiasm to get up and do something as we get older? It dies because we're more concerned by what people think than by actually making things happen. And the people that have the most success, especially young people that have a lot of success, are the ones that have the same urgency that they had when they were 5 years old wanting to learn something. That they just go right after it. They take action and they learn as they go. Have urgency to take action and have faith that you'll learn what you need to learn in time. Look, I got a lot more content coming up and I know it's gonna add so much value to you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can get notified every time those videos come up. Like I said earlier, I got a great video called 5 Steps to Designing Your Life. I don't care if you're in your 20s, 30s, or 50s. That video is gonna help you plan the rest of your life in a very systematic way. Click right here so you can watch that and I'll see you next time. Thank you.